This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I have once again very good morning and thanks for joining. Okay, as part of today, yesterday we discussed about what are the storage. We just started the storage architecture and we discussed about how the data is storing. Okay, in the form of pages. What is the page size? What is the page architecture? And we discussed about what is the extent. Okay, how many types of extents are available? How the extents are allocating? How many pages are available? Okay, that's what we been discussed yesterday. Uh, Today we are going to discuss a little bit more important concepts. Okay, that is nothing but how the writes are happening in the back end. Means whenever we are writing into the SQL server, how the data is performing. So, for example, on day one, we discuss about SQL Server architecture, and we discuss about how the reads are performing. How the reads are performing means whenever you are performing select statement, how the data you are receiving. Okay, that is what we've been discussed. Now today let's focus on the how the writes are performing. Means whenever you are inserting the data, you are updating the data, you are creating something, you are deleting something. So whenever you just writing something, doing some modification, either it can be structure level, either it can be in data level. So whenever you are writing something into the database, how the engine is performing, that is what very important. Okay, this article, let me share this article. Anyone just take this URL and share to your WhatsApp group. Okay, anyone, someone. Okay, now, so this, whenever you are reading any article related to the Microsoft, especially to the Microsoft, so just check here which platform this article is compatible. Means, okay, this entire page is compatible for on-premises. So when you see the SQL Server, it is on-premises, means it is completely compatible to the on-premises, and it is also compatible to Azure SQL database. It's also compatible to Azure MI. It's also compatible to Azure Synonyms Analytics, and it is also compatible to Analytics Platform Data Warehouse. Analytics Platform System Data Warehouse means, okay, if you are reading this article, okay, you are comfortable in all environments. You are comfortable in all environments. So that is how whenever you try to open the any MSDN block, first you need to see when this article has been modified. Make sure that always the article should modified within a span of 6 months. Okay, okay, some articles modified years ago, but but refer mostly the articles which are modified recently. That is one thing. And one more is which platform this article is fits. Means either when you see SQL Server, it is on premises. Again, I'm repeating, it is completely on premises, on prem. Okay, on prem, or okay, or SQL on Azure VM. Azure VM. Okay, when you see the SQL Server. So rest, this is PaaS platforms. These two are PaaS where we are going to discuss complete about when we start the cloud. After 30 days, we are going to start the cloud. So when we are discussing the cloud, we will also discuss about which what is Azure SQL database, what is Azure MI, what is the difference between Azure MI and Azure SQL database. All these concepts we will discuss. Okay, so whenever you are writing means you are inserting the data, you are updating the data, you are deleting the data, you are modifying structure, you are creating the structure. Okay, whenever you are performing something into the database, so what is happening internally, that is what we are going to discuss today. Clear, everyone? Everyone clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, so let's start. So to as part of writing the pages, we must and should know all the concepts. So what Microsoft is clearly saying, okay, there is a concept called lazy writer, there is a concept called eager writer, there is a concept called checkpoint, and there are two more concepts called clean page, and there is a concept called wall. Okay, all these concepts will comes into whenever, okay, whenever you are writing. So all these concepts are a little bit more important. So today we are going to cover. So what we are going to cover? So today we are going to cover clean page, okay, wall, dirty page, okay, checkpoint, and lazy writer, and eager, eager writer. So eager writer. So all these concepts we are going to cover as part of today's session. As part of today's session, we are going to cover. So we'll see one by one. Okay, we'll see one by one. Stop me anytime in case you are having any questions. In case you are having any questions, just stop me. So, for example, okay, one second. For example, okay, so whenever you are performing any, not this one, not this one. So we can't mention like this. Let me mention like this. Okay, just for your easily understanding. Okay, now, sir. So, for example, okay, this is your database which contains MDF or NDF or LDF. You yesterday we discussed, right? Whenever you create a database, it will create two files. One will be MDF file, one will be LDF file. And this is about cache. We already been discussed a little bit. Okay, data cache, plan cache, log cache, log cache. So all the caches are available. This is nothing but RAM. This is nothing but RAM. So for example, a user is performing insert operation, sir. A user is performing insert operation. Insert is loading the data, right? Correct? It's trying to load the data into the database. So, as usually you know about the network layer. So, user will first connect via network layer using network packets. Once it connect to the database engine, first it will connect to the relational engine. Under relational engine, it will check the command parser. It will bind the tree, and it will prepare the execution plan. It will go to the executor. Once executor sends request to the access method, up to this same, sir. Up to this same. Okay. So up to this same. You remember, right, everyone? I need to repeat again once again, or everyone is clear. Up to this, where we are. One sec. So up to this, everyone clear, right? It will come to the command parser, check the syntax checks. It will come to the optimizer. It will prepare the plan. It will go to the executor. Executor will send request to the access method. Access method will send request to the buffer manager. Buffer manager contains the buffer pool. Under buffer pool, there is a plan cache. Up to this, any operation is same, sir. Any operation is same. Either you are reading the data or you are writing the data. Up to this, everything is same. Clear, everyone? Yes, no? Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
yes. Now let's move ahead, sir. One head. Now, so whenever you are performing read operation, what is happening? So, for example, you are trying to read the data. So select, okay, star from EMP. So, for example, you are reading the data. So, whenever you are reading the data, what will happen? First, it will go to the data cache. If there is no data, if there is no data, first it will get the data from the MDF file, and it will place the data in the cache, and same data it will send to the user. Same data it will send to the user. That is what we discussed, right? Whenever you are performing select statement, correct? Yes, no,
Yes.
yes. Now, sir. Now, this is not a select statement. We are doing some modifications like insert, update, delete, create, alter. We are doing something. We are doing something. Modification means writing. We are writing. Now, how this, how, what happened? Now, how it will work? Not this one. Image. Come on here. Why? Oh, it's a black pen. Okay, now sir. So whenever you are performing insert operation, first it will come to the data cache. So to insert, you need pages, right? Yes or no? To insert, you need pages, right? A data pages. Correct? Come on, sir. Please be active, everyone. Okay.
Yes,
Uh, to insert, you
yes,
need data pages, right?
yes, sir.
Yes, we must ensure. Currently, any data page is available in the data cache? Currently, any
No,
data page is available in the cache?
no,
No.
no.
No. No, what it will do? Basically, it will get the pages from the MDF or NDF and it will place in the data cache. Agree, not agree?
Yes,
So it
yes,
will get
yes,
the pages and it will place in the cache. Assume, sir, it got the pages and it will place the pages in the cache. Now tell me what we will call this page. So you should call it as a clean page. The page which is not yet modified in the buffer. See, sir, simply once it copied the pages means okay, my task is done, Subbu. No, sir. You need CPU, you need scheduler, you need worker. Okay, lot many things you need, sir. So to insert, you need pages. That is one requirement. You need memory, you need IO, you need a CPU, you need scheduler means you need scheduler, you need CPU. Correct? You need also pages. So you need lot many things, sir, to perform this action, to perform that insert operation. Out of this, pages is also most important, correct? Because where it can write without page. So pages is very important. So whenever there is no pages in the cache to perform this one on this table, on this table, so what it will do? It will connect to the physical. It will connect to the physical disk. What is the physical disk, sir? C drive or D drive. So for example, I am keeping in the D drive. So I am keeping in the D drive. So let's go to the program files, go to the SQL server, sir, SQL server, and go to where it is. Okay, these are the files, data files, physical primary data file, log data file, primary data file, log data file. So what will happen? It will it will connect to the disk and copy the data cache. It will connect to the disk to the MDF file. It will connect to the disk to the MDF file and it will get the pages. It will get the pages and it will place one copy in. It will place in the data cache. Data cache. So now you should call these pages as a clean page because still I not performed any insert. I not perform any update. I not perform any delete. I not perform any changes. Nothing, sir. I just copied the file. I just, sorry, not files, file pages. I just copied the pages. Later on, in a fraction of seconds, later on, everything got allocated. The pages are ready. Okay, the pages are ready. Okay, CPU is ready, IO is ready, everything is ready. Okay, let's start insert. Now it will insert the data. Okay, now it will insert the data. Like so, for example, now it will try to insert the data. One, okay, Ali, okay, 15,000, two, Priyanka, okay, 10,000, okay, three, okay, Sridhar, 20,000, four, Sunil, okay, 30,000. So now I am trying to insert the data. Now I am trying to update the data. Now I am trying to delete the data. Means I am doing some modifications. Now these pages you should call it as a dirty page. Dirty pages. So first you call it as a clean page. Now you are calling as a dirty page. So getting my point? Same pages only. Same pages only. In the buffer, sir, I am not discussing in the database. Database, there is no concept called clean page. There is no concept called dirty page in the database. In the buffer only, there is a concept. So once I copied the pages to the buffer, those first time I should call it as a clean page because I not done any modification. Once it started modifying, again you should call it as a dirty page. Means the page which is modified in the buffer but no, not yet moved to the MDF file. Those pages we'll call it as a dirty pages. So what is a clean page? The page which is not yet modified in the buffer, we will call it as a clean page. What is dirty page? The page which is modified in the buffer but not yet moved to the MDF file. Those pages we will call it as a dirty pages. Over to you, sir. Understood? No? Yes? Very important, sir. Very
Yes,
important
sir.
interview question. So what is the clean page? The page which is not yet modified in the buffer, we should call it as a clean page. The page which is modified in the buffer but not yet moved to the MDF file, those pages we will call it as a dirty pages. Okay, not okay. Stop me,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Very important.
Okay, okay, okay,
Okay,
sir.
now, okay. Everyone is clear about the clean page and dirty page. Now, sir. Okay. Now, sir, for safety purpose, right? So RAM is nothing but cache, sir. RAM is nothing but cache. On suddenly, my laptop got crashed. Assume, sir. Assume just. On suddenly, my laptop got crashed. On suddenly, my laptop got rebooted. On suddenly, someone rebooted. So suddenly something may happen. No one can predict, right, sir? Correct? No one can predict anything. So how you are going to secure this operation? Because all the all the business transactions like inserts, update, deletes, everything is happening in the buffer, not in the disk. Disk. Why means, sir, disks are milliseconds. So whenever you are going to perform, it will perform in the milliseconds. But when you go to the memory, all operations will perform via nanoseconds. Nanoseconds. So that's the reason mostly all the database management systems are either it can be Oracle or PostgreSQL or SQL Server, any database management system. We will perform everything in the RAM because RAM is much faster than disk. RAM is much faster than disk. RAM is much faster than disk. So mostly we will perform everything in the RAM. Mostly we'll perform everything in the RAM. So even SQL is also performing same thing, sir. So this is cache. So you should call it as a cache. So cache. It on suddenly, if my laptop got rebooted, on suddenly my laptop got shut down, on suddenly something happened, then whatever the changes you perform in the RAM, it's gone. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. It's cache, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's a cache. It's gone. Now, for to secure our operations, what Microsoft is doing, right? What all the database management system is doing, right? So technically, you are performing everything in the dirty pages. So you are calling as a dirty pages. So now, whatever you are inserting, whatever you are updating, whatever you are deleting, so that will parallelly move into the LDF in the form of log records. Log records. Log records. So dirty pages concept will comes only in the cache, sir. Please, little bit confused, but please be careful. You should understand. So to protect our data, to protect our data in case of something, okay, what Microsoft is doing. So whatever operation you are performing, same operation parallelly is moving the data into the log file in the form of log records. Log records. Getting my point? In the form of log records. not in the form of dirty page, not in the form of clean page. So you should call it as a log records. So who is writing, Subbu? So there is a thread called log writer thread, sir. I will show you. Okay. So when you run sp underscore who to active, okay, when you run sp underscore who to active, you can see, sir, there is a, yeah, log writer thread. Are you able to see log writer thread? Okay, this log writer thread is going to write everything into the log file. Means insert, 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 insert. This is log record. It is inserting the log record into the log file. So on suddenly, if my laptop got crashed, no problem. My data is available in the LDF file. So yesterday, that's what I highlighted. All the change related information will be logged in the LDF file first, not in MDF file. Not in MDF file, sir. First, it will log into the LDF file only. Hope you are getting? Yes, no.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
Yes.
parallelly. So who is taking that responsibility? Wall. Wall. Right ahead logging. So wall stands for right ahead logging, sir. Okay. Come on, where is, yeah, right ahead logging. See, sir, once we make changes in the clean page in the buffer cache, it generates the log records containing the details of the modification. Once you perform change into the clean page, parallelly, it will also generate the log records. Parallelly, it will also generate the log records. So SQL Server writes this log records to the disk in the transaction log before the associated dirty page is flushed to the MDF file. Means before the dirty page move to the MDF file, all your log records will move into the LDF file. For what, sir? For safety purpose, to protect our data in case of any disaster. So parallelly, whatever you are doing, sir, that will harden into the log file with the help of log writer thread. That's what I told you, right? I shown you, right? Log writer thread is going to take the responsibility. That is the concept of wall. So wall will take the responsibility to write the all the modifications into the LDF file. Hope you understand. That concept will comes into the durability. I will explain it, sorry, in a while. Durability. So everyone clear? What is a wall? What is clean paste? What is dirty paste?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So once you start modifying, okay, then the page will call it as a dirty page, sir. So once you started modifying, same time it will also generate the log records, like insert into that log records will move into the LDF. No worries, sir, I will show you practically in the advanced level how to read the log file, how to see what operation you performed, who performed. We'll see all that stuff in the advanced level. Hope you are getting. I will show you, sir, how to read this log file. Okay, so here most important is LDF file, not MDF file, sir. MDF file is just showing you data. MDF file is just storing your permanent data. Actual data will be in the MDF file only. But most important is log file. Okay, the architecture is very important. Troubleshooting is very important. Okay, best practice is very important. So log file will plays major role. Of course, MDF will also plays a major role, but than MDF, log file is because all your change operations is performing in the LDF file. All your change operation is performing in the LDF file. Hope you got it. So what is the clean paste? What is dirty paste? What is wall concept? Questions? No questions? No, sir. Okay, fine. So,
Sir, what is log catch? Log catch.
okay, well, log cache is a log cache means uh, this operation will be maintained in the log cache. also. Caches are all are temporary caches. Okay, lock is very important. We will see in the advanced level. Locks are, so whenever you are performing anything, SQL Server will place a locks like shade lock, exclusive lock, update lock, intent shade lock, intent exclusive lock, intent update lock, and there is a latches. Okay, uh, latches, page latch, page IO latches. Okay, it need to protect, right? See, whenever you are copying the pages into the buffer, who is going to protect your page in the buffer, sir? Everyone can access, right? So for example, um multiple users are accessing this page, then gone, correct? So no worries, sir. Almost we will discuss 4 to 5 sessions only on the reads, isolation level, logs, blocks, deadlocks, deadlock algorithms, deadlock troubleshooting. No worries, bring Amrutanjan. Okay, everyone. Very, very, very boring concepts, but very important concepts. Deadlocks and blockings are very important, but isolation level, logs are a little bit boring concepts. Okay, so SQL Server will acquire the logs. That time it will also consume little bit memory, little bit memory. That memory will be held in the lock cache, lock cache. It will also consume the memory, sir. Whenever SQL Server is holding a lock, okay, that memory will be hold by the lock cache, like lock monitors, or you can see lazy writer, you can see log writer, you can see, okay, lock monitor, you can see, okay. All these are the system process. You can't kill, sir. You can't kill nothing. You can just go and see. Apart from nothing else, resource monitor, okay, and checkpoint. See, sir, checkpoint that we are going to discuss. All are the system process. First 50 are the system process. First 50 are the system process which are running in the backend, and they are doing lot of stuff. So for this system process, how the CPU is allocating, how the memory is allocating, we'll see. Okay, there is a concept called schedulers. Select star from sys dot dm underscore os underscore schedulers. When you run this one, okay, there is a hidden scheduler. See, sir, hidden. These are all the system process. Using this hidden schedulers only, your system process are running. CPU, sir. Okay, we'll see in the advanced level. Not now. This is not right time. Okay, we'll see all this concept in the advanced level. Make sense, everyone?
Okay,
Yes.
sir.
Ye-
Okay, sir.
No, sir. Okay. Okay, everyone clear about the clean page, wall concept, and dirty page? First three concepts, very important, sir. Any questions? Okay, if no questions, no, sir. Let's move a very, very important interview question, very, very important process. Again, I will come back in the restore concept. Very, very important process about the checkpoint. Very important, sir. Very important. Everyone must and should know. As a core database administrator, we must and should know about the checkpoint. We must and should know about the checkpoint. Now, what is the checkpoint? It is a internal process. Most of the everyone knows that it is an internal process which is running in the backend, continuously running in the backend. Okay, continuously it is running in the backend. You can't kill the checkpoint, sir. You can't kill the checkpoint. It is completely running in the backend. See, so where is the checkpoint? Checkpoint is 41 thread. If you try to go and kill this one, kill, okay, 41. No, you can't kill. It's a system process. Okay, only we can kill the user process, that is nothing but greater than 50. Greater than 50 are all the user process you can kill anytime, sir, but don't kill. Okay, you need proper approval to kill any operation. Don't trigger this one until you are having approval. You should take the approval and perform the kill, sir, even it is in a sleeping state. We'll see all these concepts. Okay, now, so
Sir,
it is a
what is
internal.
sleeping session?
Sorry.
Sleeping session.
Oh,
Okay.
sleeping means it is not doing anything, sir. The task got completed. So, for example, okay, you run one select statement, select star from, okay, when you go to adventure work. So, for example, you are running select star from sales dot, okay, sales order details. So, for example, you are running this one. Okay, now your operation is done. It's completed. You got the output, but you forget to close the session. Now this session will be in the sleeping state. So what is this session ID? 51. Okay, so you can go and see the 51 session ID. Okay, currently it is in sleeping. You forget to close. Already you executed, you got the output, everything is fine, but you forget to close the session ID. Means nothing is doing, sir. Then we'll call it as a sleeping session. Okay. Now,
Okay. It will run into in backend.
oh, it is open. The session is already open, but it's not doing anything.
Okay. Okay.
It's not doing anything, but that is not a best practice. Whenever you see too many sleeping sessions, educate your application team, explain to your application team, you should close the sessions. Sometimes even sleeping sessions may leads blocking, may leads deadlock, may leads performance. It may, sir. So you should not encourage. So you should talk to your application team. Tell them once your activity is done, close the session. Don't open the sessions. Keep opened. It may leads. Got you? You are not doing anything. I'm not doing anything, sir. Nothing. I'm not doing anything. But still, why my session need to be alive? I can close it, right?
Yes,
Got
sir.
you?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. That is a one thing, sir. Now, so when you when you go to the checkpoint, it is an internal process. Most of the knows that it is an internal process which is running in the backend, which is running in the backend. So what exactly checkpoint will do, sir? What exactly checkpoint do whenever it triggers, what exactly checkpoint will do? Let's go back to the slides. Okay, so whenever checkpoint triggers, whenever checkpoint triggers, okay, checkpoint process is writing all the dirty pages available in the buffer cache and transaction log records disk to the disk. Okay, whenever checkpoint triggers, what do you mean by means? Whenever checkpoint, sorry, I hope today it's not, okay, whenever checkpoint triggers, okay, so whenever checkpoint triggers, what exactly it will do? So whenever checkpoint triggers, whatever the dirty pages are available in the disk, whatever the dirty pages are available in the disk, all those dirty pages will move into the MDF file. Means all your data will move into the MDF files along with the log records which is not yet moved to the MDF file. That log records also it will move into the LDF file. So it will do two operations parallelly. What is the two operations? Whatever the changes you performed in the buffer, that changes is not yet moved to the MDF file. First, it will try to move those changes along with the log records to the disk. It will move to the LDF file. It will also move to the MDF file. Again, sir, why it is moving LDF file? It's moving to the MDF file, right? Even though, sir, for safety purpose, all the changes will move to the LDF file along with the MDF file for safety purpose. Getting my point? So I told you, right, every changes whatever you perform need to make entry in the log file. So to satisfy that one, whenever checkpoint will triggers, it will move the log records which is not yet moved to the LDF file along with what is the data you modified, the data which is not yet moved to the MDF file, that data also it will move to the MDF file. Hope you are getting. Both it will move, sir. Both it will move. So it will move the log records, it will move to the 30 page modification into the disk. So once Once your data moved, once your data moved, then this page you should call it as a clean page. Again, again you should call it as a clean page. Again you should call it as a means checkpoint never truncate the page, sir. Means never flushes the page. Checkpoint never flushes the pages. Checkpoint will just move the data. Will move the data. So whenever checkpoint triggers, it will move the data. The pages are still available in the buffer. Still available in the buffer. Now those pages you should call it again it as a clean page. Again those pages you should call it as a clean pages. So before modification you are calling as a clean page. After checkpoint you should call it as again clean page. Again, clear getting my point? So whenever checkpoint triggers, it will move the changes to the disk and make those dirty pages as a clean page. Means whatever the changes you perform, all the changes will move into the MDF file. MDF file. Now these pages still will be available in the buffer, and those pages now you should not call it as a dirty page. You should call it as a clean page because all the changes has been moved to the physical disk with the help of checkpoint. Question, sir.
Sir, can you please explain about truncation? What is
Sorry?
truncate?
Oh, truncate. It
Yes.
won't truncate, sir. It will flushes. Flushes. Okay? Who will flush? Checkpoint never flush. Very important. Checkpoint never flush. What is that flush? We'll see, sir. Hold on. First, everyone clear about the checkpoint. So whenever checkpoint triggers, it will go to the data cache. Okay, it will go to the data cache. It will verify the data which is not yet moved to the MDF file. So simply dirty pages, the pages which is modified, those data will move to the MDF file along with into the log file. Then again those pages you should call it as a clean page because all the changes is moved to the MDF file. So there is no again. This again pages are clear. Clear means data won't be available. Yeah, data will be available, but whatever changes that written into the disk, one, okay, Priyanka, two, Ali, three, okay, Sridhar, four, Shiva. So it moved the changes. Okay, same data is available here, but all the changes is permanently moved to the disk. Now no need to worry. Now this space again you should call it as a clean space. Means it is not means truncating, means it is not deleting any data. It is just moving the data. It is just moving the data. Please make a note. Don't get confused. Truncate means deleting, sir. It is not deleting anything. It is just moving the same data to the MDF file along with same log records to the LDF file whenever checkpoint triggers.
Okay.
It is not deleting. It is just moving. Copy paste. You mean to say copy paste. Okay, now you got clear, right? Copying, pasting. So checkpoint will copy paste for your understanding.
Sir,
Easy understand. Yeah.
what is time interval for checkpoint? When,
We'll see.
how much time it
No,
will
no.
take?
Hold on, sir. First, everyone understood checkpoint. We'll see. We not yet done anything. Okay, still lot much. Okay, everyone clear
Okay.
about
Okay.
checkpoint?
Yes.
So checkpoint is nothing but copy paste, sir. Copy paste. It never see. You know about everyone know about copy paste, right? Okay, copy paste means it will keep original in the cache and it will just copy the data from the cache and it will paste in the MDF file. It will paste in the MDF file. Clear? No. Okay. I understood. So I understood, sir, how the checkpoint is working. So whenever checkpoint triggers, it will go to the data cache. It will move all the dirty pages from RAM to disk along with the log records to the LDF file. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Apart
Hello,
from this,
sir. My
yes,
one question is there.
yeah.
Sir, after page is modified by data and the checkpoint is more data to LDF file or MDF file, sir.
MDF file, sir. LDF file log records in the form of log records.
Okay.
Log records.
Move
Basically,
to
your log
MDF
writer,
file.
yeah, your log writer is keep on writing the data, sir. Whatever you are doing modifications. But when our checkpoint triggers, that time if it identified any log records that need to make entry, first it will make entry in the log file along with parallel it will move data to the MDF file. Both it will do so.
Oh, thank you.
Clear? Not clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Now, sir. Okay. Now we can control the checkpoint, sir. We can control the checkpoint. Like we are having different types of checkpoints. So we are having different types of checkpoints. One is automatic checkpoint. Okay, indirect checkpoint, manual checkpoint, manual checkpoint, and internal checkpoint. So we are having different types of checkpoints. We are having different types of checkpoints. First, we'll see about automatic checkpoints. First, we'll see about automatic checkpoint. So, as you requested, right, what is the time frame that you can decide in the automatic checkpoints? Sir, by default, it will be zero. By default, your automatic checkpoint interval will be zero. So when you go to the when you go to the database property, recovery interval time is zero. By default, it is zero. By default, the checkpoint automatic checkpoint interval time is zero. Means okay, that means when it will trigger. So whenever you go and search in blogs, you will see every 10 seconds, you will see every 60 seconds, you will see every 2 minutes checkpoint is triggering. But don't tell the time frame, sir. Okay, don't tell anywhere Microsoft is saying anything about when checkpoint will trigger, anywhere the time frame, anywhere the time frame Microsoft is saying, okay, this is the time frame where your checkpoint will trigger. Coming to checkpoint, we'll see, we'll control checkpoint. Anywhere, anywhere. This is the time frame where checkpoint will trigger. No, sir. Okay. So what is the time frame of your checkpoint automatic checkpoint which is running in the backend? Okay, it is a background process in SQL Server and default most common checkpoint which we are using. Most common checkpoint automatic checkpoint is because it is a instance level. It is a instance level checkpoint. Instance level checkpoint. Now, if someone is asking what is the time frame, so SQL Server continuously checking the number of log records, and once it estimate that number of log records is sufficient to process in that time specified as per the recovery interval you configure. For example, you configure. So for example, every 2 minutes I need to run the automatic checkpoint, every 10 minutes I need to run the automatic checkpoint. So you should not change the recovery interval time. That is not a best practice. Why? Again, I will explain you when we are discussing restore concept, sir. Again, I will come back this one in the restore concept, because checkpoint will improve the performance of recovery phase. Very, very internal important point. Checkpoint will improve the recovery phase. Okay, so that's the reason you should not change the checkpoint interval time. What is that recovery phase? What is happening? We'll see in the restore concept. Okay, no worries. Again, I will come back this session concept in the restore, most probably next week, sir. Okay, so as of now, what I mean to say, SQL Server continuously checking the number of log records which you performed. If it estimate, now this is the good time to trigger the checkpoint. Let's trigger the checkpoint. So SQL Server will take the responsibility. You no need to worry. Yep. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Clear everyone?
Okay, sir.
Now you got it. Answer. So don't tell that it will run every 2 seconds, it will run every 2 minutes. So it will run. Okay, checkpoint will estimate. Okay, so SQL Server will estimate when I need to trigger the checkpoint. Then it will trigger the checkpoint if you not configure any interval time. Okay, so that's why I'm specially telling you should not change the checkpoint interval time. Means I will highlight at this point in the restore concept. Hold on. Okay, very important entry question. Very important internal point. Very internal point. Okay, recovery phase. Checkpoint will improve the performance of recovery phase. Because for example, assume sir, let me give you a glimpse of idea. So for example, you change the checkpoint interval time to 1 hour, and checkpoint is not running. For example, checkpoint is not running, and you are keep on modifying. Okay, and keep on modifying, and the log records are keep on writing into the LDF file. Those changes you are not able to move to the MDF file. Until unless your data move to the MDF file, you can't see the data. Again, I'm repeating, sir. Until unless your data need to move MDF file, you can't see the data. No one can see the data. Application teams are modifying the data, but you can't see the data because data is not moved to the MDF file. Your data need to move to the MDF file so that everyone can see. Everyone can see. Make a note that first point. Now, for example, your server got crashed. On suddenly your server got crashed. Now what will happen, sir? Gone, right? Whatever
We
you
lost data.
done. No, data won't last because data is available in LDF file. Correct? The log
Okay.
records are available. So whenever your SQL is coming to online, coming to online, SQL Server will run the recovery phase. SQL Server will run the recovery phase. Like for example, take your mobile, take your laptop. You are playing PUBG. Most of the people know about PUBG. Sir, you are playing PUBG past last 1.5 hour, and almost your mobile is hung. Your laptop is also got hung straight, and suddenly you restarted, or suddenly it shut down. Your mobile got restarted. Your laptop got restarted. While your device is coming to online, it will take a couple of seconds to display your icons, to display everything in your main screen, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. It will reload.
Yes, everyone.
Yes, sir.
So what is happening in the backend? It is running the recovery phase. On suddenly, if suddenly something goes wrong, every device will run the recovery phase. So here also same thing. Whenever it is running recovery phase, it will take lot of time because lots of data is available in LDF file that is not yet moved to the MDF file. Now it start moving the data to the MDF file. Now your database will take more time to come to online. Now your database will take more time to come to online. Until unless your data is not coming online, no user can connect to the database. So checkpoint is very important. You should not change the checkpoint interval time. That is not a best practice because checkpoint is improving the performance of recovery phase. Let it be zero. Let it be run whatever the time it's okay. So that is very important. Again, I will come back, sir, this one in the restore concept. Okay, checkpoint will improve the performance of recovery phase. Very internal point. You must and should remember. Clear? Not clear? Sir, I can repeat if you not understand. Okay, forget about recovery phase. I am not worrying about recovery phase. You understand about automatic checkpoint? So whenever SQL Server will estimate, okay, this is the best time to trigger the checkpoint, it will trigger the checkpoint. It will trigger the checkpoint. Whenever checkpoint triggers, it will move the data to the MDF file. If you wanted to change that interval time, you can run this command to change it. You can run this command to change it, or okay, or you can directly go to the properties and you can change it. So that is up to your wish. Wherever you can change it. Either you can change it using sp-config or you can change with the help of graphical user interface, but don't change it, sir. Don't change it. Okay, I will discuss this SP config in the ending, our separate session, sir. I will take a separate session. Okay, so you can change the automatic checkpoint. Again, automatic checkpoint. Everyone clear about automatic checkpoint?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now indirect checkpoint. So basically automatic checkpoint for entire instance level. So for every database it is checking. Every database modification it is moving to the respective database. To the respective database. But someone will come to you and ask, okay, I wanted to change interval time for my database, especially my database. My database. Okay. I don't want automatic checkpoint. I want to do my checkpoint interval time to my specific database. Then you can choose indirect checkpoints. Then you can choose indirect checkpoint. Means from SQL Server 2012, from SQL Server 2012, Microsoft came up with the concept called indirect checkpoint. Microsoft came up concept called indirect checkpoint. If you wanted to change, you can go and change the checkpoint interval time. You can go and change the checkpoint interval time for my specific database, sir. My specific database. So what is the interval time for my database actually? Okay, it's a 0 currently. Now if I wanted to change for 2 minutes, I can change it for my database. Indirect checkpoint for my specific database, I can change it, which is introduced from SQL Server 2012. Indirect checkpoint. Indirect checkpoint is introduced in SQL Server 2012. If I wanted to change interval time for my specific database, forget about automatic checkpoint, all that stuff. To my database, I can use indirect checkpoint concept. Okay. Again, I will come with this concept indirect checkpoint, especially when we are discussing log file troubleshooting. Log file troubleshooting. Again, I will come this point. Sir, we not are done again. Throughout our 60 days, we are keep on coming back and discussing this concept somewhere, so that you will become so confident. Just I am giving a idea. Okay, what is what? We not are done. Still, we have lot much yet to discuss. Okay, make a note that point. Now, manual checkpoint. Manual checkpoint is nothing but you can trigger. You can just type the checkpoint, sir. You can just type the checkpoint and you can trigger manually. You can trigger manually. Manual checkpoint. So when I will trigger manual checkpoint, Subbu, sometimes your checkpoint will struck automatic. Sometimes your automatic checkpoint will stuck, sir. In that scenario, you can trigger manual checkpoint. You can trigger manual checkpoint when you will trigger checkpoint means that that's what, sir. Again, okay, I need to discuss about architectures, log file architecture, how the data files. Okay, on that time again I will come back. So if you wanted to manually trigger the checkpoint, type the checkpoint and trigger it and trigger it anytime, sir. It won't make any harm. It won't make any harm. It won't disturb anything. Okay, so you can just type the checkpoint and trigger the checkpoint on respect to database. That is very important, sir. Means on respect to database. That is very important. You should not run in the master database. You should not run in any other database. Whatever the database you are having issue on that database only you need to run the checkpoint. Okay, make a note manual checkpoint. Just type the checkpoint and trigger the checkpoint. It won't make any harm. Indirect checkpoint is nothing but if you wanted to change the interval time for my specific database, you can change with the help of indirect checkpoint and internal checkpoint finally. Yes. Questions?
How will you find that checkpoint is struck, sir? When you
No,
will
that's
get
what.
any alert?
No, yeah. Means not alert, sir, but One second, one second. Okay, so sometimes users won't see the data. Sometimes users won't see the data. Okay, sometimes you will see whenever your CPU is hitting more high, whenever you run sp underscore who to act to, the checkpoint is uh, showing the highest resource consumption, and one more is uh, your log file is getting full. All that comes into the sign, sir. I can't say that somewhere it will write okay, checkpoint got stuck, but whenever you see some signs, signatures, okay, you can think that okay, something is occurring with the checkpoint, something's occurring with the lazy writers, all that stuff. That's what still we not had done. We not had moved to the troubleshooting. We are discussing just concepts. Hope you are getting. Make all your
Okay.
questions, little bit questions very important. Make sir. We'll discuss everything in the advanced level. Yep. Because the people who are starting journey, it's very difficult to understand them, to to get understand. Okay. So any other questions? No. Yes. Now, sir. Finally, one more checkpoint that is nothing but internal checkpoint. So internal checkpoint will triggers only certain operations. Again, I'm repeating, internal checkpoints will triggers only when you are performing certain operations. For example, whenever your database is a simple recovery model, okay, whenever your database is a simple recovery model and your log file is grown to 70%, it will trigger internal checkpoint. Whenever you are taking full backups, it will trigger the internal checkpoint. Whenever you are running dbcc checkdb, it will trigger the internal checkpoint. So mostly people who starting journey, you don't know about what is simple recovery model, what is full backup, what is checkdb, what is database snapshots. Okay, so mostly we don't know anything, sir. So whenever you are performing certain operations, like for example, okay, like when you are taking backups, when you are taking snapshot, when you are running dbcc checkdb, okay, when you are altering the database files, when you are switching the recovery models, when in simple recovery model. So whenever you are performing certain operation, only on that certain operations, SQL Server will trigger the internal checkpoint for safe side. For safe side. Hope you are getting. Yes, no. So when you are performing certain operations like backups, altering, checkdb, changing the recovery model, in simple recovery model, whenever your log is growing maximum more than 70%, internal checkpoint will triggers automatically. Internal checkpoint will trigger automatically. Yes, no. So you don't have any control on internal checkpoint. Okay, rest everything you can control, sir. Automatic checkpoint you can control, indirect checkpoint you can control, manual checkpoint you can control, but internal checkpoint, no, sir. That will trigger only certain operations. Only certain operations. So finally, what I mean to say, checkpoint you can control, and we are having different types of checkpoints. And one more point is, you can't flush the pages in the cache. Checkpoint will just copy paste. Checkpoint will just copy paste. It never flush the pages. Questions, sir. Open to you now. Questions, no questions. And sir, if you want to do every time, so for example, if you wanted to get a checkpoint trigger time, so I wanted to get the checkpoint trigger time, you can enable the trace file 3504. If you enabling the trace file 3504, if you enable the trace file 3504, every time whenever checkpoint triggers, it will write in the it will write in the error log, SQL error log. But you should not enable, sir. because your log file will bump like anything, because checkpoint is keep on triggering. Whenever checkpoint triggers, it will write the information in the error log. So your error log will bump like anything, means it will grow like anything, sir. So we should not encourage that one. Okay, let it be run in the backend. No worries at all. No worries at all. Okay, you should not enable 350 file trace file. So if someone is asking, okay, how we can see if we want to write the checkpoint trigger information in an error log, what you will do? I will enable the trace file 3504. I will enable the trace file 3504. So when you enable, okay, dbcc trace on, okay, 3504. Whenever you enable the trace file dbcc trace on 3504, okay, so whenever checkpoint triggers, it will write information in the SQL error log. SQL error log, sir. SQL error log. But again, sir, this is somewhat advanced level. Okay, just remember the trace files, how to enable, how to read, all that stuff you will get it, sir. Okay, and one more is I told you, right, you can read the log file. I told you, right, you can read the log file. I will show you practically. For just a glimpse of idea, you can also read the log file with the function fn underscore dblog. Fn underscore dblog, and you can just use the like operator and use the checkpoint ckpt. You will get the checkpoint trigger time. When is your checkpoint trigger time? You can also read the log file to see checkpoint trigger time. Checkpoint trigger time. And every time whenever checkpoint trigger, it will write the information in the boot page. Boot page, sir. So it will write the information in the boot page. So again, something internal as of now, no need to worry. Just remember, we'll see internal in advanced level. So you can see the checkpoint trigger time in the log file. In the log file, along with you can also, if you wanted to write the information in error log, you can enable this trace file with the -1 is nothing but global. All this stuff we not yet discuss. We'll discuss in the coming sessions. Okay. So what I mean to say checkpoint is just copy and paste. Whatever the data available in the cache, it will copy, it will paste in the MDF file. It never flush. Sir, I will show you demo, sir. May most probably Saturday. Yeah, Saturday we'll get the demo. Anyhow, I need to explain the development, right? So how you will create the table, how you will create the inserts, how you will update, how to delete, what kind of operation developers will do. That time I will show you this demo as well. How I need to see the dirty page, how I need to see the clean page. Okay, I will show you that demo as well on the same day, Saturday. Okay,
Okay.
okay, everyone. Yeah. Now, what is the next concept? Lazy writer. Now, sir. Okay, you are getting one idea. So check if checkpoint is not flushing the pages, so assume you are performing insert, someone is performing update, someone is performing delete, someone is performing select operation. So all the data pages will fit in here only, right? Now what will happen on suddenly your RAM will get full, right? Yes or no? On suddenly your RAM will get full,
Yes, sir.
correct? Now
Yes, sir. Yes.
lazy writer comes into the picture. So lazy writer is also background process, internal and background process which is running in the backend, but always in the sleepy mode. Lazy writer. Okay, for your don't tell it is interview to the sleepy mode. It is also one of the background process which is continuously running, but always it will be in the little bit sleepy mode, sir. Lazy, sleepy. So when it will invoke, if you ask that question, so whenever it feel that RAM is getting full, when it will feel that your RAM is almost getting full, then your lazy writer invokes and move the data to the disk, to the log file, to the disk, to the log file. As usually how the checkpoint will do, same thing lazy writer will also do first. Then it will start deleting the pages. It will start deleting the pages in the buffer based on the algorithm. What algorithms are? Least reference count or least used pages. It will use both are same only. Least reference count means, for example, this is buffer, sir. Okay, this is buffer. Okay, this is buffer, and these are the pages in the buffer, sir. In the buffer, these are the pages in the buffer. Assume. Okay, this page you called means you used this page. You called this page for 10 times. 10 times. This page you called for 25 times. This page you called for only one time. This page you called for 100 times. This page you called for 1000 times. This page you called for 3 times. This page you called for 7 times. This page you called for 10 times. This page you called 15 times. This page you called for 200 times. This page you called for 500 times. This page you called for uh, one time. One time, sir. So whenever lazy writer triggers, okay, it will move the data to the disk. First it will move the data to the disk. That is very important, sir. First it will move the data which is not yet moved to the disk. First it will move the disk. Later it will scan the page reference count, means how many time you used this page in the buffer. So the pages which are the least used, those pages it will flush. Those pages it will start flush. It will start flush those pages. Till how many pages it will flush, how much it will feel that your RAM is healthy. Okay, those many pages it will flush, sir. Getting my point? Assume if I flush 5 pages, my RAM is free. It will flush 5 pages that time. So always your lazy writer need to flushing the pages, sir. Otherwise your RAM is keep on filling, sir. Sir, in your laptop no one is accessing, no one is performing, no worries. But going forward, go to the real world, sir. Multiple users will connect to the database, multiple transactions are performing. So every time your lazy writer backend, it is need to flush the pages, oldest pages which is not at using. So the page which is not using, let's flush the pages in the buffer so that new pages can copy. Getting my point? So that is the main purpose of lazy writer. So what is the major difference between your checkpoint and lazy writer? Checkpoint you can control, but lazy writer you can't control. You don't have any control on lazy writer, sir. You don't have any control on lazy writer. Checkpoint you can change the interval time, but lazy writer there is no interval time. It will trigger whenever it need. Okay, so checkpoint will move the data to the disk. Lazy writer will also move the data to the disk. Checkpoint never flushes the data in the cache, but lazy writer will flushes the pages in the cache based on the algorithm. Least used pages, least reference count. Got you? Yes, sir. Getting? Are you there, everyone?
Yes.
Sir, if you not understand again and repeat, okay, don't tell simply yes. Okay, lazy writer never uh, means we don't have any control, sir. Basically it's a background process. We don't have any control. First whenever lazy writer triggers, it will move the data. Please make a note, it will move the data, then it will start flushing based on what, sir? Either least reference count or least used pages, you can call any name, sir. And these are the major difference. Okay, we can control checkpoint but we can't control lazy writer. Okay, checkpoint will move the data, lazy writer will also move the data. Okay, we have different types of checkpoint, but lazy writer we don't have any different types. We have only one lazy writer thread. Only one lazy writer thread. Okay, checkpoint won't flush, but lazy writer will flush the pages based on the count. So whenever you are calling, it will make one count, sir, every time. So for example, okay, So Sai is using, Sunil is using, Sridhar is using, Siva is using, Ali is using, so Priyanka is using. So whenever we are using, it will make every time a count how many times you have been used this page in the buffer. So whenever the page is not at user, so for example, you have performed one select statement only today. You have performed one select statement only for today, and you not yet run again the same select statement, again same select statement. So that pages are available in the buffer, right? Okay, so no one using that page, no one is performing nothing on that pages. So that pages are still stay back in the buffer. Those pages will be cleared by the lazy writer. Sir, page flushes means removing, sir. Removing, it will remove the page from buffer. Before it remove, it will move all the data to the MDF file. Then it will move the remove the pages, sir. But don't tell remove. You should tell flush. Got you, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, finally, the last option, eager writer. Okay, eager writer. What do you mean by eager writer means? Okay, so whenever eager writer is nothing but when you are performing bulk operations, sir, means try to understand the logic. When you are performing bulk means I am trying to insert billion records, uh, 1 billion records, 2 billion records, 3 billion records. So whenever you are performing bulk load into the database, so what's happening, right? So eager writer is a backend thread, again backend thread, which will help you page creation, page writing, page creation, page writing parallelly, parallelly. So when SQL Server will feel you are performing bulk operation like such as BCP, select into, okay, SSIS, Azure Data Factory, okay, when you are performing such keywords. Again, I will repeat, sir, in the recovery model. So whenever you are performing bulk operations and SQL Server will feel you are performing bulk operations, then eager writer will help us. What? How, sir? Page creation, page writing parallelly to improve the performance. That is the main purpose of eager writer, sir. Page creation, page writing parallelly. It will do parallel to improve the bulk operations. Apart from nothing, sir, eager writer. No one will ask, but technically you should know about the concept. Eager writer. Page creation, page writing will be parallel. Sir, even Microsoft also saying same thing. Okay, eager writer. Eager writer is a process writing the dirty pages associated with the minimally logged operations such as bulk inserts, select into, select into. So parallelly, sir. Okay, parallelly. I will come back this bulk operation in the recovery model topmost concept. Okay, not okay. All these concepts all very important, sir. Checkpoint, dirty page, lazy writer are the topmost interview questions. Okay, everyone clear? Not? Yes. And the final concept, if no question, the final concept we are going to discuss is asset properties. Okay, every transaction, whatever you are performing, sir, we not yet started any practical, sir. Again, so that you are having lot of questions. Bear with me tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to start the installation. Once we complete installation, we'll go for practical. Okay, everyone. Why Subus are only telling the theoretical? Done, sir. Tomorrow we'll go for installation. Once we complete the installation, we'll go for practicals. Okay. Bear with me one more day. Now, sir, every transaction, whatever you are performing in all the database management systems, either Oracle or SQL or PostgreSQL, okay, any database management system, every transaction, whatever you are performing, that need to satisfy asset properties. That need to satisfy asset properties. What is what is asset property, sir? Atomicity. Okay. Best example is bank, sir. UPA payments. So sometimes when you go to the ATM machine and you are withdrawing the amount, your amount got detected from your account, but you not received the amount. Anyone face this issue? Sometimes you are doing UPA payments. Okay. Your amount is detected from your account, but on destination people not received any amount. Anytime someone face this issue? Anyone
Yes,
in
sir.
our journey? Yes, right. Most of the peoples are definitely, because nowadays you are doing a lot of UPI payments, right? Sometimes phone pay got stuck, some pay Paytm got stuck, Amazon Pay got stuck, okay, Cred app got stuck. Sometimes something got stuck and it got detected from your account, but it not received to the target people. And when you call to customer care, they will tell within span of 3 to 4 working days you will receive the amount. Like who is taking it responsibility, sir? Atomicity. So what is atomicity? Every transaction need to fully committed or fully roll back, sir. Again, I'm repeating, every transaction need to fully committed, fully roll back. That is going to taken care by atomicity. That is going to taken care by the atomicity. A stands for atomicity. What do you mean by atomicity? Every transaction, whatever you are performing, that need to fully committed or fully roll back. What is commit? What is roll back? We'll discuss. Okay, in the development session, sir. Now, consistency. So when you go for consistency, okay, means you should not violate the behavior, sir. You should not violate the behavior. Means whatever the transaction you are performing, that should not violate the behavior. What do you mean by that, Subbu? So for example, you go to the bank. You go to the bank and you told that I need to open the account, and you are telling I won't pay any amount. You should open. But what is the bank policy? Minimum is 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 minimum, sir. So you are telling I won't deposit anything. You should. I need to account. Means you are violating the behavior. They will tell no, no, sir. It's not not allow us to create your account without a deposit. Means whatever the transaction you are performing, you should not violate the behavior. Clear? That will be taken care by consistency. Clear, sir? Everyone, come on,
Okay,
sir.
sir. Okay, sir.
Getting, not getting, or you are overloaded.
Getting, sir. No,
Okay,
no.
okay. Yeah. So what is consistency means? Okay, whenever you are performing any operation, that should not change the behavior, sir. Behavior that taken care by the consistency. Isolation level. So today I'm going to discuss only just 2 minutes. I told you that again I will come back with the locking, blocking, deadlocks concepts. I will come back with isolation level concept. No worries, you just bring the Amrutanjan, sir. Very boring concept, but very important concept. Very boring, very important concept. Okay, isolation level is nothing but independent. Every transaction is a independent, sir. So take again ATM machine. Okay, so when in your hometown, sir, in your hometown you are having lot of ATM machines respect to bank. Okay, for example, if you go to any one of the bank, and can you tell to someone that, oh, I am using this ATM machine, you can't use any other ATM machines? Can you, sir? No, right? No, right? Because every transaction is a independent. What I mean to say, whatever, sir. For example, okay, this is my database. Okay, these are the tables. Okay, so one of the user is calling customer table. Okay, no problem. One of the user is calling address table. No problem. One of the user is calling person database. Multiple users can access this database. Multiple users can perform multiple transactions. Every transaction is a independent. Every transaction is a independent, sir. Isolation level. Isolation level means every transaction is a independent. Okay, make a note down, sir. Make a note down. Isolation level is nothing but independent. Okay, again I will come back this one with all the demos. Durability. Durability means, okay, protecting the data, sir. Once you fulfill all this one, you should protect the data. How you are protecting the data? By writing the entries in the log file. Durability is nothing but writing the entry in the log file. We are protecting our data. We are protecting our data by making all the changes into the log file. If suddenly something happened, no worries. I am having copy in the log file. Clear?
Okay.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay, yeah, that's it, sir, today. So we covered almost all the internal concepts. Questions? Open to you, sir. No? Yes? If no, see you tomorrow, sir. Tomorrow we are going to start the installation part. So once we complete the installation, then we'll go for practical, sir. Theoretical, practical, theoretical, practical. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Subbu.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.